Hi, it's Emily or Emmy Rose 22A. I'm back again. I am going to be participating in the Mickey's Mind journal page advent calendar, I believe is what she called it. I'll have a link to her blog post down below and her intro video. She is alternating. One day is a technique prompt, the next day is a Christmas carol. So for today it's use a napkin. Haven't done a video like this before, so we'll see how it goes. I don't have the whole napkin because I cut it up to kind of test fit it to my page, but this is the only Christmassy napkin I had. And it doesn't look super Christmassy, but it is. There's little French horns and hollies and stuff like that on there. So my thought is kind of, I'm going to arrange them on the page, fill up my spaces, and I'm kind of hoping this little middle part's going to look a little like a door. So I am going to Mod Podge these on there. I'm going to film it, but I think I might speed it up and possibly play music over it. I am going to put this aside to dry, and we're going to work on some of my embellishment units. For those of you who don't know, I am an artistic noob, as the series title suggests. I've done the journaling by fives. It's the only art journaling things I've ever done, so I just really don't know a lot about what I'm doing. Obviously, I've Mod Podged before. That's, I guess, in my book, not rocket science. I know how to do that. Obviously, I didn't put down a nonstick surface first, so I didn't know how to do that. But like I said, I want the center of my panel to look kind of like a door, so I think these I would like to use for corner frames. I'd wanted the long parts to go down. I'm looking for a lot of gold on this page, so I'm going to paint these with some gold gilding, but the gilding's a little too bright for what I want, so then I'm going to dull it up with maybe a little brown distress ink after they dry. So maybe I will paint those first. I have this liquid leaf from Plaid. I shook it up really good before I started. Seems like this stuff should be gorgeous. I've seen lots of other people use it. These little chipboard pieces, they're embossed chipboard pieces. I got these from Canvas Corp. If you've watched my journaling by fives, you know I'm a big fan of Shannon Green, and she has started working at Canvas Corp. And she does, oh, what are they called? Like Shannon's Abandoned Treasures or something like that. And she finds stuff in their warehouse and she makes little kits out of it. And so I bought her Christmas kit, which had these awesome little chipboard pieces and a bunch of other ephemera and cardstock. And there was a stamp set, which you will see later. That stamp set is my Christmas stamp set. It's pretty much all I've got as far as true Christmas goes. Those are pretty. Ooh. I'll look and see if any more of these ephemera packs are available online. I know she's got some other ones. I want to buy them all, but alas, I cannot. And if I keep creating, then I can justify them. But as it stands now, I've acquired a lot of things. I'm a big fan of Joann's, the fabric and craft store. I watch their sales. I keep a good eye on their clearance section. There's one close to me, so I do go there often. There's one, it's actually close to where I work, so like I said, I do go there quite a bit. It's convenient. I can check out and see what they've got going on, so I get some good deals on stuff. A lot of it's those 60% off coupons. Those things will kill me every dang time. Oh, these are coming out pretty. I hope my wreath comes out as nice. Oh, schmack, I'm getting gold all over him. Wow, see? Artistic noob. I don't even think to move my freaking piece that I don't want gold out of the way when I'm painting gold. I just thought I would bring in the embellishment pieces. Good night. Some days. This leafing is pretty awesome. I've seen a lot of people use it, like Karen Cavitt's addicted to it. I don't have TV at my house, so I watch a lot of YouTube. That's, I mean, we do have Netflix, but most of my TV that I watch are YouTube videos. So, and my favorite kind are crafting videos. I watch a lot of like knit and crochet tutorials and podcasts, and a lot of paper crafting, card making. I love the mixed media. I think that's how I found Mickie's channel. I think is how I found out about this advent calendar post thing. And I have to figure out a schedule for how I'm gonna post these. I figure that'll kind of depend on how this first one goes, like how well I'm able to edit it and how long it takes me to actually film it and get it up and everything. This may be a lost cause. You may not get such great videos on the next ones. Alrighty, so there's my gold leaf, so that stuff will need to dry. So for my wreath, I wanted to use this Pine Needles Distress Ink. I have a little 4-pack of the minis, and I thought this would look really good. I definitely want the edges. And I don't mind if it gets all over. There's like raised leaves and stuff on here. I may have to use a little water or something. I think I will, because I want this to be pretty much covered all over. I don't mind it having darker areas and whatnot, but I want it to be mostly green. The other thing I thought I might work in here is a little water-soluble oil pastel. That's what he is. Just maybe get that in there for my lowlights. Only that liquid leaf kind of stinks. Just an FYI, you might want to make sure you're using a well-ventilated area. So we'll scribble some of that on. Let me get a paintbrush real quick. I'm going to use a fairly big one. It's a number 10, I guess, flat brush. I don't know. Did I tell you I'm an artistic noob? I need a paper towel. I don't know how wet I want this to be, so to kind of spread my color around, I guess wetter. Oil pastels don't seem to be water activating super great. Oh, you know what it is? It's this embossed chipboard. It doesn't like the water. Artistic noob. Live and learn. I wonder if I can... Am I sure these are water soluble? I got them in a little art kit, and I swore it said they were water soluble. Just one sec. Alrighty, not water soluble. Oil pastels. Good to know. So now I'm going to have to let this dry before I can do anything else with it. I do like the look of that lighter color on there. I wonder if a baby wipe would move them or move that around. I have one over here. But I think most of the things you do with a baby wipe, oh, well, it's taken off my distress ink, but that's okay. Well, live and learn. Huh, Emily? That's actually quite funny. I really thought those were water soluble. It does not say that on the packaging. I don't know. I saw oil pastels. I apparently just thought they were. So I'm guessing because if they're regular oil pastels, I must need a mineral spirits or something to do something with those. Oh, these seem to be dry already. We will move back to playing with them, I guess. Like I said, they just seem a little bright for my napkin. Which I have a little scrap of here, so it's got those colors, and see, it's definitely a more like yellowy gold. This is a more yellowy gold. That's a more orangey gold. So I thought maybe I would bring in some. I've got this brush corduroy. It came in my little distress kit ink kit, so I may ruin them. I may not. And hopefully this is going to dry. That's the other thing, because this is now a sealed surface and these are water-based inks. I am aware that that may not always be the best combination, but my boyfriend kind of told me, I'm like, what if I suck at this? And he said, you have no preconceived notions of how things are quote-unquote supposed to be. So we are back with our accessory pieces. As you can see, the ink didn't take on top of the gold foil, kind of like I thought it wouldn't. So I am going to try some acrylic paint. I'm going to try dry brushing a little bit on there, and we'll see how that does. Oh, let's artistic noob lessons from earlier. As you can see, and I apologize for, gold foiling, gold leaf, I guess it is, on my hands. Gold leaf is not water soluble. I tried to wash my brush and I was squeezing out the brush under the hot water, and now I have it on my hands. I do not have any like xylene or paint thinner or anything in the house, so it will scrub off in time. Probably in the shower tomorrow morning it'll come right off. But for tonight it wasn't coming off. I wasn't going to keep scrubbing at it, so there's that first lesson. Next lesson, I guess, read your labels and maybe play with your materials before you start filming with them. Like I said, I didn't realize that my oil pastels were straight up oil pastels, not water soluble. So, again, I guess we're going to kind of go to what I know minimally. We're going to try some acrylic paints on here. I just really need some green color on here. I can re-edge the edges with the distress paint to try to get a little more like depth of color in there, because my green's not as dark. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I truly am an artistic noob. I have never painted like this before, in a controlled manner like this. So we're doing with what we can. And I think I have 12 acrylic colors in total. So it's not like my acrylic repertoire is super huge. We might have to do a little blending. I'm hoping just a little, oops, that's too much. I just wanted to dry brush on these is all I wanted to do. And I got that big old glob on there. Good job. Fingers work. So I just wanted to really just kind of mute this up. That looks a lot better. I just don't want it quite as... I wanted the gold color without all the gold color, if that makes sense. I had shown you this is a little bright for what I've got, so I'm just trying to mute my color down a little bit. That one didn't get nearly as much as the one before it. so we'll get too much. It kind of goes in the little embossing there, and I guess gives it a little more depth. I will take it. We'll see how this works up with my page, which I'll be bringing back in a moment. Apparently my paper's not the biggest fan of having Mod Podge all over it because it curled a little, but that's okay. I squeezed out way too much brown paint. That's okay. Oh, I need to go get my Christmas labels. I'll have to do that after I'm finished with this little segment. I bought some of those printer labels, the round sticky ones that they sell at Dollar Tree. Lindsay Wyrick, the Frugal Crafter, mentioned that she likes to use those, and I kind of thought, well, since I'm doing these pages, I should be able to get some awesome like waste paint stuff going on. And I'm debating, I kind of like how these two have a little more showing. I think I'm just going to ever so slightly kind of rub these other ones. Trying to be efficient with my supplies, so this is like the other half of the napkin that I collaged onto my page. There we go. I like those. I think those will be good. We will leave them be. I'll try to be careful not to put them in my glob of brown paint because that sounds totally like something I would do. Now we're going to go with some green. I'll try to do a little bit less. See, that's a super bright green. Oh, and I do need to, sorry, I got some water up here. I'm rinsing out my brush. Because this one, I don't care if it's wet. I really wanted to dry brush the brown on. My sister and my sister does ceramics. My mom does a little bit of ceramics. My mom and my aunt toe paint a lot, so they're pretty good with the acrylic paints. They're really good with the acrylic paints. And that's where I learned about dry brushing. I have seen them use that in many an occasion to get a little bit of color. So this one, I really, that's way too grassy. I wonder, okay, you guys are going to see a little like Paint Theory 101 going on over here, because I don't know. I think I need a little bit of blue, and I want black for my edges anyway, so I'm going to squirt a little black out. But we're going to try to, I guess, do a little bit of paint mixing. Here's some green. I think you need some bluer undertones to match my Distress ink. That may be too blue. Oh no. Ooh. I think we've, by Jove, I think we've got it. And these brushes I have, they claim to be, it's a Royal and Langnickel set, so I thought it should have been a good set. I found them, oh, that's cute. I didn't mix enough. Hopefully I can get back to about where I was. Oh, look at me, mixing paint and everything. Got a paint gooby in there. Can't take me anywhere. Anyway, I got this set at Joann's. I got, oh, I know why it's not paint goobies, it's water, or paper pill. Where my paper pilled from adding the water onto it before. Because I apparently should not have added water to these little thingies. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting these little side grooves, but I didn't get those filled in. And I'm kind of hoping when this dries that maybe I can go over the edges and maybe the top with my Distress ink pad, and I'll get a little more like depth of color. Anyway, these brushes said, I bought a 3-pack, or it's like a set of brushes, and they were supposed to be acrylics and watercolors and oils. And this is the acrylic one, and he is super soft. So I don't know if when you paint with acrylic on a canvas, if it's a totally different thing, but these bristles are softer than I would like for this, at least. Sorry, I can't see well enough through my viewfinder to paint details. So I gotta make sure I stay on screen. Okay. I think that is going to be good. Oops, don't get on the finial things. Boy. Alrighty, so my corner's curled. I'm okay with that. My napkin was different size on this corner, so the edges didn't quite get it. The other problem with this napkin, well, and I've got a couple of, it kind of had these little dashy things right there that I couldn't get rid of. It's got like a couple of funky lines. Sorry. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. It's kind of got these dashy lines like that. It's where it's just not printed pure black. So I was just going to kind of go around the edges and kind of rough do them with some black acrylic since I've got it. And then, oh, that's cute. I'm going to kind of spread this along so that it's more uniform. I think that's what I'm going to do. I was planning on doing a little bit of stamping. I have a cute music note stamp set. It actually is from my Christmas set. It says Deck the Halls. I'm going to do a little bit of like randomize the background a little bit, because this napkin for its funky pattern is fairly, yeah, I'm not a fan of these brushes. I may have to get different ones. Or, I guess from what I understand, your watercolor should be your loosest brush, then your acrylics, then your oils. So maybe I need to pull out the oil brushes and see how they work. And it's probably just me. It's probably nothing on these brushes. I just am not familiar with using. I have painted in acrylics before. Like I said, I am vaguely familiar with it. I have toll painted with my mom and my aunt. But to be honest, it was typically quite heavily under their tutelage. They were watching me or telling me and, you know, correcting me if my technique was wrong. Like, I had a lot of help. I'm just trying to blend this up so it doesn't, and I don't care the most if that's exactly like the strongest outlined ever border. Okay. So I'm thinking we might be done with that. Let's play with our Deck the Hall stamp. Like I said, I just kind of want it random. I guess it might get a little acrylic paint on it. I don't want it to be, it's upside down. I've got another stamp on the other side. It's one of the problems with being kind of a noobish is you don't have like lots of blocks and whatnot. So I was trying to be prepared. I am stamping this off on my underneath paper. First of all, and again, I should have my printer labels out so that they are getting the stamping, but such is not the case. Not today. And once I get done with this segment, I will make sure I get any acrylic paint that may have gotten on there off of there. The other thing I wanted to do was, I don't like the way this border's not uniform. And because it's got the Mod Podge on it, none of my inks really stamp great on there. So I decided with the little test piece, I was going to use my Memento. I have a little dewdrop of it too. So, I figured this would be a little easier for inking up my little guy. And if you noticed, I kind of measured that top part to see. Oh, I'm gonna take this other stamp off so I can see through the block. We will try our best to center that up and stamp that on there. Oh, duh. I can see where the ink was. It should be about the same amount for the bottom. This is from that same stamp set. If I can find it, I'll pull it out for you so you can see. It's in that Shannon grain kit. As I mentioned, that is my Christmas stamp set, so any stamping I do throughout this project. Oh, that's cute. That was a little off center. That's okay. That's character, right? Although I'm going to try to do better over here. And I almost kind of sort of went the other way. And oh, I need to wipe that bottom part off, or else it's going to stamp. See, I watch YouTube. I know a little bit about like stamp masking. Obviously not a lot, but I know a little bit. Oh, I need just a little flourish more. That was a little better on for the centering. That's okay. There we go. And as I said, I just kind of figured that framed up my door-ish. It's a door in the loose sense. Oh, it's ink. Ink everywhere. Kind of a mess. So there's that. I think we're going to have to pause for a moment while I let my stuff dry, clean up my stamps, and then I need to let this ink dry because I want to rub some gold. I have this glitter paint stuff. This is actually fabric paint. It works just fine on the paper, and I thought that would give it a nice blingy glitter. And then, by then my ink should be dry and my wreath should be dry so I can ink the edges, and I have some really cute balls to put on there. I'm going to use some red seed beads for my holly berries. I thought those matched pretty well. And then I have a bow to put on it, a cute little black and red. It's a little bit of a bright red.